From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Wednesday, October 8th. It is a cool start outside, in the 40s in some places. We are going to warm up. It'll be nice by the end of the day and sunny outside too, but not super hot. We're going to get to the upper 60s, so really a beautiful fall day.
What can 160 years of experience teach you about the future? A lot, especially when it comes to protecting what matters. At Pacific Life, we've helped people and businesses confidently embrace the future with life insurance, retirement income, and employee benefits. With strategies built on strength and trust, and a promise to be here for you today and tomorrow. Ask a financial professional how Pacific Life can help you today. Pacific Life Insurance Company, Omaha, Nebraska, and in New York. Pacific Life and Annuity, Phoenix, Arizona.
We are following breaking news this morning. The victim in the alleged Mark Sanchez attack is recovering from serious injuries at home. That is according to the law firm representing Perry Toll. They tell us that Toll is the victim, 69-year-old man who was a delivery driver, just trying to do his job, change out oil early Saturday morning, about 12:30 in the morning, when they say that Sanchez, the NFL commentator and Fox broadcaster, former quarterback, the lawyers say that Sanchez attacked Toll. He suffered serious injuries. They shared a photo of those injuries with us. It is now on wishtv.com. They say he is now at home, out of the hospital, and recovering. This is a story we will be following. The lawyers confirmed that Toll is suing Sanchez and Fox Sports Network. So that is something we've told you in the past. What we have not told you is we dug into our Wish TV archives. We actually figured out that we spoke to Toll in 2011 after his sister-in-law was shot in the back of the head while working at a village pantry. At the time, he was pushing for more safety for employees that have to work overnight.
Marsh's Law, which they will be required by law to provide minimum protection for these people.
So Garrett Bergquist is on this story today. He's going to have the latest information for you on News 8 at 5 o'clock. So listen in. More breaking news this morning. Death row inmate Roy Lee Ward has dropped his last two federal lawsuits seeking to delay his execution. That likely means his death sentence will be carried out this week. Our news gathering partners at the Indiana Capitol Chronicle report that Ward ended his remaining appeals to halt the execution, which is set to happen before sunrise this Friday at the state prison in Michigan City. Ward has been on death row for the 2001 rape and murder of 15-year-old Stacey Payne in Spencer County. We'll have much more on this developing story as well on wishtv.com. New this morning, police say they are trying to figure out what led to a shooting at a CVS pharmacy in Indianapolis that left 3 people hurt. Happened yesterday evening on the city's Near East Side. News 8's Hernan Gutierrez has the latest information.
IMPD tells us that 2 females and a male are in the hospital and are considered to be stable. They did not immediately know their age at the time. This happened inside a CVS store at the Linwood Square Shopping Center. That's on the corner of 10th Street and Linwood Avenue. This is going to be video from the scene last night. Police say that it started after some kind of disturbance in the store around 6:40. Officers found the 2 female victims shot at the scene. Then sometime later, they say a male showed up to Community Hospital East with a gunshot wound. It wasn't clear how the male got to the hospital. IMPD Lieutenant Vincent Stewart says it was too early to tell how the 3 victims were involved in this incident.
We depend on the public's help. We need the public's help. And once again, if you did see something, heard something, please contact. Another senseless act of violence. Anytime someone is shot and or killed in our city, obviously affects all of us.
If you know anything that can help police, IMPD says to contact them or submit an anonymous tip through Crime Stoppers at 317-262-8477. A spokesperson for CVS tells us they are cooperating with IMPD on the investigation. Last we heard, investigators do not have any persons of interest and are reviewing security camera footage. Please do not think that there is an active threat to the community at this time. Reporting downtown, I am Hernan Gutierrez for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
The Indiana Crime Gun Task Force says it has taken hundreds of weapons off the streets in the last few months. News 8 government reporter Garrett Bergquist asked the agency about what it's seen.
Despite being called the Crime Guns Task Force, its members also seized large quantities of drugs this summer. They say those two things often go hand in hand. These are just some of the guns the task force says it took off the streets.
It's extremely satisfying, not just for me personally, but for our unit as a whole. I believe in the mission that we have, and I believe that the numbers of guns and machine gun conversion devices that we're taking off the streets of Indianapolis and central Indiana are really making a difference.
So far this year, the task force has seized 303 illegally possessed firearms, 184 machine gun conversion devices, more than 11 pounds of methamphetamine, and more than 12 pounds of fentanyl.
Many of the individuals that we encounter who are dealing or selling narcotics throughout the streets of central Indiana are also illegally armed with firearms that they shouldn't have. So those two play together really well, because sometimes we'll use the narcotics side of the house, meaning trying to buy narcotics from individuals or doing narcotics investigations on individuals that we know are dealing narcotics, to seize those firearms.
Heidelbaugh says those numbers are similar to what the task force saw last year. He says the number of machine gun conversion devices officers see is beginning to level off. The task force has seized just 5 since July 1st. Heidelbaugh says his officers more often find those devices among younger people.
Most of them are coming off of social media. Most of them are being shipped here from overseas. And the teenagers, the juveniles, are the ones who are more easily able to get those because they know how the internet works much better than somebody who's old like me.
He says he credits old-fashioned police work and the public calling in tips whenever they can.
Because we have individuals and detectives that are in our task force from these surrounding counties and cities and states, it makes us much more effective in tamping down violent crime, not only in Indianapolis, but also throughout the surrounding counties.
And right now, the task force includes IMPD, the state police, and the police departments of Avon, Beech Grove, Fishers, Lawrence, and Zionsville. Heidelbaugh says his team is always looking to add staff. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
State police have arrested a man for a shooting on 465. Troopers say on Monday last week, 30-year-old Jason Twombly shot another person on 465 and I-65 on the city's south side. Investigators say he and the victim got out of the same vehicle before the gunfire. Victim's injuries are not life-threatening, and state police did not say what led to the shooting. On Monday this week, state police learned the suspect was at a motel near 34th and Shadeland. Investigators say he tried to run but was caught. Detectives also recovered a gun they believe was used in that shooting. Let's go to Jane King now with your business headline. She starts with Americans' confidence in the economy.
The New York Fed's monthly survey of consumer expectations found fewer Americans expect to be better off a year from now. And as a wave of economic uncertainty takes hold, Americans are increasingly pessimistic about their financial future. Now, household spending growth expectations also declined. Now, we have seen surveys like this in the past, and Americans do keep spending despite the worries. So we'll see if that happens again this time. Now, there are questions about if federal workers will get back pay during the shutdown. President Trump was asked about it and said it depends on who we're talking about. A 2019 law is meant to ensure back pay after a shutdown ends. Bob Ross paintings will be auctioned off to help fund PBS. Ross recorded his shows in Muncie. Now, about 30 of his artworks, which he mostly created on air during the TV show The Joy of Painting in the 80s and 90s, will be auctioned by Bonhams in November. Bob Ross Inc. said the auction ensures Bob's legacy continues to support the medium that brought his joy and creativity into American homes for decades. Well, Adobe's forecast a 6.2% year-over-year growth rate during this fall's Amazon Prime sales event, which started yesterday. Adobe predicts that online shoppers will spend $9 billion over the 2 days, with discounts peaking at 17% off. And of course, competitors Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and others also are running deals over this time. Stocks fell yesterday. Investors worried about growing government debt worldwide, and also there's increasing talk about if all this money that is going into AI investments is getting ahead of itself. Today we're looking positive, though. Dow's pointing up about 100. Live from the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Back to you.
Happening today, former FBI Director James Comey is set to be in court for the first time since his controversial indictment. Amy Kiley reports on the allegations and the skepticism of the case.
Donald Trump wants to, first and foremost, intimidate those who've been detractors of his. It's arraignment day for President Donald Trump's nemesis, former FBI Director James Comey. He's charged with making false statements to Congress and obstruction of a congressional proceeding. The Justice Department alleges he lied to lawmakers about whether he authorized an FBI media leak.
Comey and all this, sleazebags.
He's a liar and he's a leaker. Is this guy being looked at? But we're going to straighten it out.
Trump deplores Comey for investigating his 2016 campaign. Critics say the charges are revenge. Many legal analysts say the case is so weak, it never should have been filed.
I believe that Mr. Comey will ultimately be vindicated. I think there's going to be strong grand jury misconduct motions, vindictive prosecution motions, and selective prosecution motions.
No signatures from any career DOJ attorneys are on the indictment. And so far, no local prosecutors are on the docket.
They couldn't find anybody within 500 miles to show up in court and choke down the humiliation of trying to defend the United States in that case.
The arraignment comes a day after the Attorney General dodged related questions from lawmakers.
I am not going to discuss pending cases because Comey was indicted in the Eastern District of Virginia by, I may point out, one of the most liberal grand juries in the country.
I'm Amy Conley for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Also, during a contentious Senate hearing, Attorney General Pam Bondi refused to answer questions about the files related to sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. One senator specifically asked Bondi about reports of pictures of President Trump from the days when he and Epstein were known to be friends. Bondi also refused to answer questions about the Justice Department's ending of a bribery investigation of Trump's border czar, Tom Homan.
There's been public reporting that Jeffrey Epstein showed people photos of President Trump with half-naked young women. Do you know if the FBI found those photographs in their search of Jeffrey Epstein's safe or premises or otherwise? Have you seen any such thing?
You know, Senator Whitehouse, you sit here and make salacious remarks, once again trying to slander President Trump left and right, when you're the one who was taking money from one of Epstein's closest confidants.
Okay, sports now. Pacers are back in action. Preseason play tipped off last night in Minnesota. News 8's Colin Bailey said some fireworks started off the year.
No, the Pacers couldn't start off the year with a better way. Of course, it was a close game, but they were up by 24 at a point. T-Wolves came back. The Pacers ending up winning 135-134. But the Pacers will be without Tyrese Halliburton this year, so that means many others will have to step up. The Pacers, like I said, led by as much as 24 points. The T-Wolves rallied back to force OT. Injuries, though, hopefully are kept to a minimum this year. TJ McConnell left last night's game during the second quarter with a sore left hamstring. Many others on the roster stepped up to take home their first W of the 2025 preseason. Ray J. Dennis led the Pacers in scoring with 16 points and 5 assists. Some of the other young guys stepped up. Johnny Furphy had 12 points, Jarris Walker had 13, and rookie draft pick Talon Peter had 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists in 28 minutes. This is what Peter had to say about his NBA debut.
It was, a dream come true just to be out there, especially to have my family there. It was a really cool moment. They traveled a long way to come see my first game, a place that, me and only a few others, them being included, thought I could be, so it was a cool moment.
The Pacers play their first home preseason game this Saturday at Gainbridge Fieldhouse as they face the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tip-off will be at 7 p.m. The Pacers tip off the regular season at home October 23rd, as they'll have that official NBA Finals rematch against the Oklahoma City Thunder as well. Tip-off for that is set for 7:30. I'm Colin Bailey for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Indianapolis Airport says this year's fall break travel season could be one of its busiest. Officials at the airport say passenger volume will likely be higher than normal now through October 24th. The busiest days will be Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. TSA says it will open checkpoints at 3 in the morning on those days to accommodate extra traffic. If you plan to fly, airport says get there early. Leaders will cut the ribbon today on a new 3-mile stretch of trails connecting Hendricks County with Speedway in Indianapolis. The B&O Trail now features 17 continuous miles. Organizers say funding for the expansion came from more than 2,000 donors and through Indiana's Next Level Trails program. President of the B&O Trail Association tested out the new section on his bike yesterday.
When you have trails going through neighborhoods, they go by schools and parks and workplaces and churches. It gives people the opportunity to get out on the trail use the trail. They see their neighbors, they see their neighbors' dogs, they get to know the people, and it just creates more of a sense of community for the whole area.
After today's ribbon cutting, there is a special 10-mile bike ride that will start at 6 this evening at Daredevil Brewing in Speedway. We have registration if you're interested in going. It's on wishtv.com. Just find the story. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and wishtv.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.